cleric and anti-apartheid activist, Reverend Frank Chikane, to help us unpack what went wrong and what might have gone right actually this weekend as well. Reverend Chikane, thanks very much indeed for joining us, and welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, and greetings to your listeners and those who are watching.
What's your assessment of the national convention that took place over the weekend? Some are saying that it didn't do what it was supposed to do. Some are saying that it wasn't a credible representation of the people that should be in the room. And some others are defending it. Where do you stand? What's your take?
Well, I don't have to take a stand against anybody. I think the issue for me is that there was a call for a national dialogue. Not because as you did in your introduction, it's not because the ANC lost a majority. The person who called for this for the first time was President Mbeki. I know it's his idea, and he believed the country has reached a stage where it needs to talk. And the president of the country then accepted that because Mbeki had to talk to him about it. And once it's accepted, the structures were set up to do this. And so nobody has done this before. I'm actually looking for a country that has had a national dialogue in the manner in which we are trying to do it. Some want to start from the top down. Some want to start from the bottom up. And there will be differences, and that's part of the dialogue. And the issues about those who feel they shouldn't be part of this dialogue, it's part of the dialogue as well, because it means South Africans are talking. But what I know is that the majority of the people of this country want an opportunity to express themselves, to say what they want this country to be like. There are those who are totally unhappy. I'm also unhappy about things that are happening in this country. We must fix the country. It's our country. It's for our children and our grandchildren. So those who are alive today have a responsibility to make sure that criminals don't take over this country. We don't want to end up being Haiti, where criminals take over, political leaders get neutralized. You can't even have a police force. You have to get it from another country. We're not going to go that direction. So the people must talk ward by ward, district by district, province by province. And national party structures need to talk. And this is what we need to do. How it gets done, there will be differences. Yeah.
So what stood out for you over the weekend? What do you think came through strongly?
Yeah, well, I'm an observer from outside. I'm like a citizen. I think what came out for me is that people did meet to talk. Remember, most of the people who arrived there didn't even know the politics of why others don't want to be there. Others were unhappy about the convention. Others felt they will come after that convention. That's not their convention. But people who were there just wanted a platform to talk, and they did. And that's what is important. And there's going to be further work. The dialogue is over 9 months. So we'll be talking the whole 9 months. And the foundations, the political parties, the civil society will find each other as we go about it here.
Reverend Chikane, I'm going to ask you why you think that we needed national dialogue. And I'm asking this because we have members of parliament that represent citizens. We have councillors in each ward across the country that represent citizens. The people can go to these people and say, look, this is a problem here, this isn't the issue, and this is what they have been doing. What they've been saying is that politicians are not listening and they've voted accordingly. What then can this national dialogue do? Because it's not as if the concerns are not known.
No, but it will do exactly what you say it will do. If the politicians are not listening, then the people must talk amongst themselves and decide what needs to be done. So if you've got a councillor that's not listening, well, mobilize the people in the ward to say this councillor is not listening. There's sewer in the street. We need to get rid of it. We must take over our lives rather than wait for a politician or leader to do something elsewhere. It is our responsibility. So this is what this dialogue, I wouldn't have done it the way people are doing it. I would have found other solutions. But no, I have more contacts. I can talk with leaders. I can go to Soweto and look for a councillor because of my profile. But the ordinary person in Soweto can't do it. And so the dialogue gives them an opportunity. I may not need it. Some people are so hungry that you tell them about the dialogue, they don't see why you should be talking dialogue. They want food on the table. So there are people who are sitting in different places. So we need to give people the opportunity. They want the dialogue, let them have it.
All right. Perhaps another way to ask the same question is, at the end of the dialogue, there'll be a shopping list of wants and needs. To enact them, we go back to the politicians again, because they are the ones that are empowered to do something about it. How do we get action then from that point onwards?
No, that's the problem. The problem, we left it. Democracy, electing people once in 5 years is not sufficient. You need people's participation. We did that during the UDF times in the struggle. We organized street by street, community by community. There's no politician who can ignore that. But if you are a disorganized community or individuals, you are bound to end up with this. So I've got another track I've been working on, and others are working on other tracks. I want to make sure that the people of this country do not continue on the the trajectory we are following at the present moment. So the dialogue is happening. I'll participate there, but we're going to have to make sure that the political structures take heed of what the people are saying. We can't stop. If they know what we think, they will react in that way, because they know they will lose an election if they don't do what the people want. I think that's what we need to do. If there's a municipality that's failing, where are the people in that community? Why are they letting corrupt people run the municipality? If there's a province failing, where are the people of the province? I think that's really the issue. So this thing is going to make the parties stop and listen. Because if every ward has a dialogue, that ward is going to say what the councillor will have to look like in that place.
And if he doesn't listen, what do you do? Because they can only wait 5 years to get him out.
No, it's not possible, sir. If we organize, we did it. We didn't wait for the apartheid system to do things for us. We did it. We went into the streets. We made sure that we organized the people, and it's not impossible. You can't have sewer running for 5 years in your street, and you can't do anything about it. You can, and so it's democracy. This that it is just voting and you go home. No, we need people's participation. No councillor will ignore me in Midrand. If there's a pothole there, it's my responsibility to make sure that that pothole is gone. If it doesn't go, somebody must account. We'll be at the offices there of the city to make sure it happens. The problem is inactivity. Just make an example. There are areas in Johannesburg where the community is active and you'll not find a pothole. That's the issue. But if you are quiet, people sit in their offices and do nothing.
Okay, so Ethiopia is currently under doing a national dialogue, actually, as we speak. Theirs has been in progress since 2022, and they're still not finished. Do you think 9 months is going to be enough to get the job done?
Yeah, I mean, South Africa, I don't know about Ethiopia, so I've not studied the terrain there. South Africa is highly organized, and it's not impossible. It may not finish in exactly 9 months, but to have word by word dialogue, that's what is different with this initiative. Word by word dialogue, the number of the words we have in the country, the number of meetings that should be had, and they feed back into the national. And then we've got a dialogue which will reflect the interests of the people. I mean, every party, every civil society organ, women's group, youth groups, it's not impossible, sir. And so we need to get on with the business. I've stopped complaining. You know, people spend too much time complaining. If you complain and you do nothing, nothing happens. I know we mobilized against the apartheid system and we won. And we must organize against the rot that is set in this country, and we will win. Because this is not a party issue. People think it's one party against the other. It's not. These parties tend to come in for their own interests and power. We're not talking about that. We're talking about people's power.
Is the cost of this exercise a concern for you?
Of course, there must be. There's nobody who does business without worrying about the costs of doing that business. And so I am hoping that we'll spend as less money as possible. I mean, the media picked up a number that was a proposal with no authority and make it the number of the dialogue. I don't believe that. We can do this with less money. I mean, the way in which it was done this last weekend, you get a venue. You know, there are venues that are not being used 24/7. They can be made available for this dialogue. The only thing you have to do is to make sure if it's a dialogue for the whole day, there will be meals and etc. There might be need for transport, but if you do it word by word, it's within walking distances. I think we can make it. Remember, we won the struggle without millions of rands. We didn't have it. I started in the struggle with us using a Get-Stetchner machine, buy a roll of paper of 500 paper and cut it into two. You've got 1,000 and you distribute in the community. That's where we come from. And money should not be the determining factor.
All right. So it sounds like what you're hoping for is a grassroots movement to take us through the next phase of the country's history. Reverend Chikane, we're going to have to leave it there, but thank you very, very much indeed. It's always an honor to be able to talk to you on our programs. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you so much. That's Reverend Frank Chikane, a struggle stalwart. He continues to be an anti-apartheid activist even to this day. He's a cleric and a fighter for democracy, talking to us about the national dialogue. He does feel, though, that it could have been done differently, but it is in play and he's going to participate, and certainly his viewpoints will come through during those conversations.